South Park Season 28, Episode 4 review. Let's get right into this. So, this is a Thanksgiving special type episode, and honestly, going into this, I didn't even know the episode was going to come out, because usually we get a teaser on Tuesday, some point in that day, and we didn't, and I'm like, oh no, it's going to get delayed, isn't it? And luckily, no, they kind of posted like a tweet about it, just the caption, what it's going to be about, a brief description, and some screenshots from the episode itself. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, you know what? This episode, I wasn't expecting anything crazy from it. My expectations low just because it was a special episode, okay? You know, I'm just like, you know, let me just make sure my expectations are just right, set right. So that way, if it is, you know, way better, I'm pretty happy about it then, right? But I'll say this, the episode was way better than I thought. And the main reason being that it wasn't focused, like, the main focus of the episode, like storyline wise. I would argue it wasn't like Trump or stuff, but it was interweaving into the main thing, which is the Thanksgiving race. And I'm fine with that if they interweave the storylines like this, right? Where you can still do the Trump stuff, whatever, but it's not the main focus. The main focus was Cartman pretty much trying to get Tolkien to, you know, get in the race and win it, right? And obviously he was successful at that, but we'll get into that in a second. So the episode begins by setting up pretty much the plot of it, which is that South Park has this Thanksgiving turkey race, whatever you want to call it, and they don't have a sponsor, so like they need to make up the money somehow, but no one has any money. So like, okay, who can we go to? The only people that they can think of is Sally Raven, and they have kind of, you know, funny little, you know, whatever, video clips, whatever, of like, I guess, Saudi Arabia. And, yeah, you know, it's, you know, all jokes and stuff. But I'll say this. So we see the mayor returning, so that was good. And then we saw a lot of other returns. So many, I can't even name them, but there was a lot. Okay, and then even later on the episode, we see Jimbo and stuff. So that was pretty good. And then, yeah, like I said, everyone is in tough times. No one can help Randy, as he said. Integrity Farms, that closed down. And then we see Mr. Mackey come in, and we know what happened with him earlier in the season, because I'm going to consider it the same season, even though, you know, it got split off. But early in the season, we saw what happened to Mr. Mackey. He joined ICE, and yeah, let's say that went pretty bad for him. And then now he's pretty much like a custodian, janitor, I guess at like whatever, city council, whatever you want to call it, city hall. And then, yeah, like I said, they get the Saudi sponsor, and they're like, okay, this is, you know, whatever. They finally got sponsored to get the money out, which is, I guess, good. But then again, it's Saudi Arabia. And then the problem was, this is kind of like what they're highlighting, how, first of all, Saudi Arabia is taking over kind of America by just being involved in everything, right? Like, we see them buying out stuff, like left and right, literally, getting involved in everything. You probably seen the videos of where they obviously pay, like, millions, because they got that much money, they got infinite money. They just pay millions to just like Ronaldo, whatever, like all these like very popular celebrities, athletes, you know, social media people, to get them to come out and, you know, just do stuff for Saudi Arabia pretty much. But the thing is, Saudi Arabia, they are let's just say you cannot really criticize them. Yeah, let's say that the freedom of speech towards them, like criticizing them, yeah, let's say it's very iffy there. Okay, it gets kind of it gets kind of iffy there. And pretty much Cartman, he's realizing, is okay, we got this team. Okay, I want to get this 5K as well. And then he's like, you know what? How can we win this? Because right now we're not going to win it, especially with me on the team. And then he's like, he goes to race science. Okay, and race science is pretty much about how people of color, particularly people that are black, are literally just better at races. Like, they're just more likely to win races. That's literally it, race science. So it's kind of play on words, because when I saw the description to the episode, I'm like, oh wait, that's what it means. Race science. I thought it meant like the literal race, which it does in one way, but also means like, you know, the person's race, which is what Cartman's talking about, you know, in relation to Tolkien. And yeah, pretty much he gets Tolkien to agree to the race so they can get the 5K. And he kind of guilt trips him. He's saying like, oh, look, Stan needs it, you know, Kenny needs it. Come on, just do it for them. And then he's like, all right, I'll do it. Because, you know, he's very hesitant. He didn't want to do it at first, but then he's like, you know, whatever. We'll do it. I'll do it. And then we see Pete, wasn't it Pete Hegseth? I'm like, who is this? I'm just like, I'm like, okay, this person's probably part of the Trump administration, but what is his actual role? Like, what is he known for? What does he do? And then luckily they explained it in this, and he pretty much comes to the police station to get Peter Thiel out. And we saw that from the previous episode. Peter's like, don't worry, I got people, in the administration, whatever. They're going to get me out. And yeah, pretty much Trump sends this guy who is the head of the Department of War to come get Peter out. And he just comes down from it's supposed to look like a helicopter and then the rope. And he's just doing social media stuff. He's just like, what is this? This guy's more worried about social media than actually doing stuff. And when he does do stuff, he does it completely wrong. This guy's insane. And he pretty much, he's like, nah, I'm getting him out here. Nah, I'm getting Peter out. You're giving me Peter right now. And yeah, the cops are like, nah, you're not. And Pete literally just gets, kicked right in the cheeks and embarrassed and denied. And he's like, I'm coming back. You're going to regret this, blah, blah, blah. And then, like I said, we see the whole race science thing. And then we see another scene where it's with Pete, and he's pretty much making a call to Trump. Or Trump called him one way or the other. And what was said was that, Trump's like, come on, so you got Peter? He's like, no. Pete's like, no, I didn't. And then Pete's like, I need the entire Department of War unleashed. Okay? And then Trump's with it. He's like, you know what? Whatever you need to do, here, have it. I need Peter. And we know he needs Peter because of the whole Antichrist thing. And Peter's pretty much the only one that, that can do this, essentially. And Trump's like, you know what? Just make sure you're not making more content, man. Like, come on, what are you doing? Okay? Can you just, give it up? And then, but no. Right after the call, Pete continues making content. And there's even a scene where Pete, he's literally, doing the whole plan of how he's gonna, start, invading, pretty much, do the whole, just do the whole invasion, with the Department of, War on South Park. And then he's like, you know what? It's like how you see actual tactical stuff like strategy. They have the map out. These are our zones. This is what we're gonna do. Put some units here. And then he's like, yeah, so we can use this. These are units from social media, not for actually doing anything actually military wise. I'm like, bro, what a meme. I didn't even know about this dude until today because I'm not American. But is he actually like this? Is this guy actually is this actually somewhat accurate to this guy? Because I'm guessing it is. So let me know in the comment section down below. If you're American, let me know. Because I refuse to believe this. But then again, it's just, anything's possible nowadays, bro. People are just crazy, to say the least. And then pretty much the race is about to begin, and then Cartman finds out the unfortunate news that Tolkien has backed out of the race due to Saudi Arabia being involved as a sponsor, and he doesn't agree with their politics, essentially. Just for political reasons, he's backing out. And then Cartman's pissed. He's like, God damn it, man. God damn it. And then what does he do? He goes to Tolkien's house and tries to convince him. And then Tolkien's like, no, I'm not having any of this. Not having any of this. Just get out of my way, let me play video games. And then Cartman just wouldn't budge. And then Cartman, he literally tries to say to Tolkien that's better for Saudi Arabia to be, doing this stuff, right? Helping America, whatever, rather than killing. And then pretty much trying to make Tolkien feel bad. Oh wait, so you're down for all these killings and stuff that they do, rather than actually this good stuff. So kind of just the framing of it, right? Trying to bait Tolkien, essentially. And then Cartman realizes that, oh wait, he's not gonna budge. So if I just take his Xbox, which is what he's focused on, he's locked in on that, then I can lure him to the race in hopes of him partaking in it and ultimately winning it, which is what does happen. But while this is happening, we see Pete. He's just hearing for example, when the race starts, he hears a gunshot, right, which is the thing to say the race is starting, go start running. And he starts taking that out of context, oh, look at these woke liberals, this woke city or woke town, and then look, there's gunshots fired, Antifa, bro. He's saying everything, bro. I'm like, how's this man coming to his conclusions, right? And then he gets to social media out too. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna do this. Don't worry, we're gonna take them down. There are these, yeah, I'm like, come on, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna reiterate it again. Let me know if this man's actually like this. Let me know if it's even somewhat similar, because I find it hard to believe. Okay, that there's no way this guy's actually Because I never heard of this guy. I feel like I should have heard this guy. I just haven't. And then, yeah, like I said, he's literally focused on getting content by sending the different units and, different area zones so they can get the best shots, whatever. And then guess what? While he's explaining it, guess who comes? Guess who makes a cameo? We see Kristi Noems. And obviously she's like kind of the head of Homeland, the Department of Homeland, whatever. And she's like, I'm here to help. And then he's like, nah, get out of here. And then she's trying to like pretty much poach his followers to go follow her. And then he's like, nah, come on, what are you doing? Get out of here. And then she's like, I'm here to help. And long story short, she's posted up at a different part of the race. So there's like a whole thing going on where it's the Homeland versus the Department of War kind of beefing. So they're stationed 2 different spots in hopes of just stopping the race. And then while it's happening, we see Kristi Noems. She sees a dog, and guess what she does, bro? Just like earlier on in the season. I think that was like the first episode, wasn't it? She literally just like, bro, she just ends the dog. Like, come on, man. We saw Crypto earlier on in the season, and now we see just another dog, okay? I'm like, bro, this is crazy. And I remember finding out about this afterwards, because I didn't know about her until that episode, and I had to do some research afterwards. I found out the whole story, the whole whatever it was. I think it's like a memoir. Insane stuff. And then there's also like another scene there where right after that, Peter fires the tear gas because he has the military's unit, his department stationed there. And then even there, like, the military people are with him. They're like, what are you doing? Like, this guy's out of his mind. And he just, fires tear gas to stop the race. Because, bro, this guy's, like, delusional. He's seeing things that aren't even existing, bro. Like, what is going on here? And then, he fires tear gas. And everyone just starts, obviously, inhaling it. Their eyes are getting watery, like, and then they have to evacuate, pretty much. They start going to nearby shops, trying to get out there. And then that's where you see Randy and a whole bunch of others devising a plan on how to finish the race. But ultimately, it doesn't work out for them. And then we see Pete. He starts just causing mayhem, just like going after people. And while it's all going on, as he's trying to, I guess, assert his dominance, bro. The Top Gun song from the OG like the first Top Gun, Danger Zone, started playing, but it's like a parody of it. But it's like, if I'm not wrong, I was kind of like zoned out because I'm like, no way they're actually doing Danger Zone in this. But I think it was like his own lyrics, right? I'm like, bro, this is crazy because I'm not gonna lie, I love that song. I love the song Danger Zone. It's a banger. Same with this other one, Take My Breath Away. Another going, bro. Go to songs from there. That was that too. And I'm trying to remember. I think there's something about Kristi Noems I wanted to say. What did I want to say? I forget, man. Forget it. Forget that. And then we see Token finally catches up to Cartman to get his Xbox. Because at this point, they're in the race. Cartman's like, come on, you're not even trying. Like, come on. Like, you're really this against it? Just like, be a team player, essentially. And Token's like, I told you, I'm not, like, racing isn't my strong suit. And then eventually, because of the whole smoke, the tear gas stuff, it gives Token the opportunity to just catch up to Cartman and just tackle him. Because Cartman doesn't know where to go, he can't see anything. And Token using that to his advantage. And he pretty much like gets his Xbox. And then Token says to Cartman that, he's pretty much just a bigot, a racist. And then Cartman says that Token, long short, doesn't care. And then as Cartman is like realizing this, he's like, oh wait, have I lost? And then he's like, oh no, wait. Because you see, as Token's talking to Cartman, he's like, I'm going, I'm leaving, that's it. I'm done, screw you. And then he's walking backwards into the finish line. And then Cartman's just baiting, just playing along with him so that nothing goes wrong. And then eventually, Token realizes, oh shoot, I hit the finish line, I won it. He's like, god damn it. And then Cartman's obviously so hyped, he's like, let's go, my plan worked. That was audible there. That was definitely not what Cartman was expecting. At least the way it went about it to win it. But it worked out, so that's all that matters. And then Token obviously was rightfully mad because he's like, bro, come on. Like, I didn't want to support this, now I won it. Like, of course, man. Of course. And it kind of, I guess in a way, kind of proves Cartman's point. Low-key race science, if you know what I mean. But, I digress. And then Token, I'm like, this scene's going to be hilarious. I'm like, this show's going to be hilarious. And then we see him at the, like, on the stage. They're awarding him the money. And I'm like, this is about to be so awkward. He's about to be so triggered. And you see the Saudis, they come and award him the thing, take pictures, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, bro, he's so done. He's like, man, I don't even want to be here. Come on. And everyone else is like, so hyped for them that they won. Because everyone need the money, essentially. And I liked how it kind of tied in a lot of the POIs and a lot of the characters from the season, throughout the season, that we've seen change. Like, for example, the City Walk, pop-up shop, whatever. We saw that, the Labubus, we saw Integrity, obviously the changes with that. How it's done, and the effect it has on the Marsh family. And then also, what else was there? Who am I forgetting? Forgetting another one. Mr. Mackey, another example. Just the changes. So everyone needs the money. That's why everyone's trying their hardest. But unfortunately, no. Can't beat Token. Can't beat Token, which is, that's kind of like one of the points of this episode, I guess. Jokes, the main jokes. And then, finally, we see Harris, the cops, they go up to Pete, and they put a stop to him. They're like, what are you doing? We already told you to get out of here. Like, get out of our town. Okay, you're not welcome here. Like, get out of here, you bum. And then they lock him up, bro. They arrest him. They put him in the cell with Peter Thiel. And then, just like Peter Thiel, when he got locked up, Pete is like, nah, don't worry. I got connections too, just like how Peter said. And he's like, Trump's not going to let this. Like, the president's going to get me out. Don't worry. You're going to regret this. It's going to go bad for you. And that's where it ends. So now, we have one episode left. Literally, we have one episode left in this entire, 2 seasons, technically, even though it's one. It was 10 episodes. This is episode 9. And right now, it's slated to release during the 10th. And to further add on to that date, because we knew that date from I think a few months back or something, a few weeks ago at least. But during the commercial break, one of the commercial breaks throughout this episode, we saw them do an ad for December 10th. So it's still on for December 10th. Without any further delays. So I wonder how they're going to put an end to this. Because in terms of the Trump plotline or storyline, it didn't really have that much progress being made towards it, right? I wonder how this is going to wrap up. Hopefully it's not rushed, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking, oh shoot, it's going to be rushed, isn't it? Because only one episode, unless they leave as a cliffhanger and they, go on to us further into the next season or something like that. Because we did see in the first episode of, the season, that the joke they were making is that, oh, we're going to do this for the next 50, because they signed a 50 episode deal, right? Over, was it 5 years or something? So, are they actually going to stick to that? Are they actually going to do that? That'd be crazy. In a way, I kind of hope it wraps up, but also, if they know they're not going to be able to wrap it up thoroughly, then maybe put it into the next season. But then again, I just want the politics to be done with. Just want to go back to the boys, as the main focus for just pretty much every episode. Because the politics stuff definitely gets draining at some point. But anyways, let me know the thing down below. Did you like this episode? Are you excited to see how the season ends? And thank you for watching. And if you're American, hope you have a good Thanksgiving. And peace.